Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Saturday, 23rd of July. Adam, you are taking on Andreas Endis, is what we're going to say now, Sunshine. And you're having your fight, amateur lightweight bout. Now, it's the lightweight scene. I spoke with Mark Goddard about the amateur scene, and we kind of were talking about how many times guys should fight and when they should go to pro. Goddard's under the impression that he always thinks that most guys should have at least around 10 bouts on an amateur scene, because you can get them out pretty quick, amateur bouts, unless obviously you get spar code every time. But he said generally you get them out pretty quick. He said if you get a good 10 fights under you, you've got a good experience, good few fights under your belt, different opponents all the time. I would still say then that you're kind of hitting that mid-tally, so to speak, of your amateur career. How are you assessing the MMA amateur scene for yourself? How do you feel as an amateur?
Yeah, kind of same sort of thing really. I'm not really looking to sort of turn over pro quickly or anything like that. It's all like you said before, similar to like the boxing. You want to sort of get as many fights and as many different sort of scenarios presented to you when you're fighting before you go over to pro. I mean, I've you know, to be honest with you, I never thought I'd fight in the first place. So I think coming in thinking about pro, I don't really concentrate on that a great deal. I just focus on sort of what's in hand to fight. But yeah, I wouldn't be looking to go over too quickly.
And with the amateur scene, obviously, the way it's structured these days, it's quite professionally run. And the opportunities as well, like these World IMMAF championships that they have in the Vegas they just recently had, does that spur you on in a way, the fact that there's that opportunity that, you know, to stick at amateur as well, when there is, I know there's not the financial kind of aid, so to speak, of you're not getting paid for it, but in a sense of there's that kind of incentive. It's not it's not all about the money. Sometimes it is about the kind of the reward.
Not at all. I mean, the whole reason why most people get into this in the first place isn't really for money or anything like that. It's you know, for a number of other reasons. But yeah, I think amateurs come on tenfold, I reckon, within the last 5 years or so. I mean, I've been training about that amount of time, not competing as such, but training and going to the events and stuff like that. And the standard from now to how it was 4 or 5 years ago is night and day.
Oh, it is. I agree. It's insane. I think that the guys that are fighting amateur now could probably easily have went into pro 5 years ago and would have held their own pretty well.
Yeah, I think so as well. And I think what's happening now more so as well, because I think the biggest problem we used to have sort of 4 or 5 years ago, and it still happens a little bit, was you'd get just a lot of mismatches, and a lot of sort of can crushers, just whoever could sell the most tickets, give them to someone who's a bit shit, make him look good, and that was the way it was. But it's slowly but surely coming out of the game now. People are wise to it.
Yeah, it is. It's one of them ones where people are trying to snuff it out. Like, just in general, you know, people are trying to emphasise the point of let's stop doing the can crush, let's stop doing it, because it's not necessarily good for the sport, but it's not good for that fighter, that guy who's fighting can crushers. It's not good for that person, because he's going to step in then and fight a guy who's going to be a monster one day, who isn't a can, and he's going to get absolutely mullered with this confidence thinking he's untouchable, and it's not good for that fighter's kind of mental strength, really. It's just got to blow them away, and it's not very good for them.
No, exactly right. Yeah, exactly right.
Now, okay, then, so you're fighting an amateur lightweight. Is that what you would ideally... Are you going to stick around lightweight for the future, or do you feel that you're still growing into your body? Do you feel like if you were to turn pro, you'd probably go down to featherweight? What's the... like?
I don't know. I think... See, I'm at a funny one, because when I'm in shape, like me, I'm in shape, I'm about 168, 167, so I couldn't fight at welterweight, because obviously there'd be a lot of people cutting down who are much larger, so I have to sort of settle for lightweight. I think that, I'd probably stay at lightweight. I couldn't really see myself getting any lower, to be fair.
No, that's fine. I was just curious because some guys in the amateur scene think, right, well, I'm not going to do a big weight cut because I'm not, you know, I just want to get some fights under my belt. And some guys think, right, I'm ideally going to go for featherweight at pro, while doing amateur, I'm going to mess around at lightweight. Well, like you said,
it seems to come in trends a bit.
Yes.
I think with the weight cuts, I think maybe 3 years ago or so, you're seeing people. It was all about who could cut the most weight.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. But I think people are obviously realising that there is a detrimental effects to that, and I think you're starting to see it a bit more where a lot of the fighters, even UFC, they're coming in much more closer to how they to their actual. I mean, look at Cerrone the other week and people like that.
Well, look, I admit I did the big cut, mate. I went from 210 to 170. I did the big cut.
I mean,
did it.
It's what a lot of the guys. But I think people are getting wise to it now and realising.
I'm not doing that anymore.
Got to fight the next day.
Yeah, I'm not doing that to myself, mate. I'm sick of that. I did it, and I was like, do you know what? That was the dumbest thing to have done. But the thing was, I had to do it to get those little questions in your head, mate. The things at night time when you sit there and you go, but what if? And I thought, I'll do it, and now I've answered it. I'm happy I've answered it. I don't care about how it went. Exactly. I've done it, and for me, I'm going to go to middleweight, you see, and that's it. I'm not cutting 40 pounds. I'm going to cut 25. 25 pounds fat is a lot better for me. It's a lot easier because what people need to remember as well, because 25 pounds for me is a lot easier than someone who's cutting down from 150 to 125 in body weight percentage. Completely different kettle of fish. So I can do 25. I can do 25 this week. If someone said to me, "Can you fight this Saturday coming up? Michael Bisping needs to fight someone," I'll be like, "I'll do it. Yeah, I'll do it. How much? 25 pounds? Yeah, I cut 25 pounds. Doddle. It's one of them things. It's being happy in your body. Look, I think with Bisping's win as well, I think we won't see it yet, but you'll see it in the coming years, the knock-on effect, because that's what everyone thinks. It's like, oh, he's won everything. Like, no. It takes a couple of years for everything, like the Conor effect. Just because guys training with Conor McGregor right now doesn't mean they're ready. It's guys who are probably a couple of years away that get that influence and that effect. It'll take a couple of years. I think it's a good time, though, to be fighting in the UK scene. If you're a British fighter, if you're amateur as well, there's still a lot. There seems to be a lot more eyes on you guys. Do you feel as well, because BCMMA are going to stream these fights? Do you feel that that's kind of the part of it as well?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think obviously the popularity of MMA is becoming a lot more apparent as well. I mean, a lot of guys, like where I work and things like that, they maybe don't know the sport a great deal, but they know it peripherally through like Bisping and McGregor and things like that. So just from that and them knowing that I compete and fight and everything, that garners interest. Like they want to watch the fight and asking about tickets and stuff like that. So it has helped it. Yeah,
it does. I was sat at work and a couple of guys were probably 20 yards away from me talking about fights. I just like sitting there thinking. My ears peaked.
I do have to bite my tongue at times because they do talk some bollocks.
Oh yeah. I didn't say anything. I did just actually listen. I kind of went, just sit down, carry on with your work. Kind of like I looked like a meerkat for a minute, popped my head up, looking around. I went,
exactly.
And then I listened. But do you know what the thing is that I think I was like them when I walked into the sport. So sometimes when they say stupid things, I just kind of have to take it in, not want to choke them out.
Exactly.
But that's what I sometimes do. People go, "Oh yeah, I just do this." I go, "All right. How about I do this to you, and then you tell me what you'll do?" Like, especially, I like the one where the people say, "I'd just stand up." I'm like, right, okay. Oh, I'm gonna get in half guard, and you just stand up, and let's see how that goes. It's. I think it's one of them ones where it looks from outside like they're just not doing anything, and I'm like, the art and the skill set going into that small positional bit that's happening right now that you have no idea about, the millimeters and centimeters that are making a difference. It's huge. It's insane. But unless they do it, you don't know. Like you would have been the same. Like you said, when you first started, I bet you could not get off your back for the love of money. You were sat down on your back.
And that's really, that's what how I really started, to be honest with you. I mean, I only started because I become a fan, started watching it.
Yeah.
And I just started training just jiu-jitsu, just on the sheer fact that I wanted to know what was going on. Do you know what I mean? Just so I, just so I wasn't being one of those people who was talking and not having a true understanding of what's happening. So that's kind of like how it all started from there, really. It was just out of intrigue of finding out what is actually going on down there when it hits the floor and things like that. And
it's the best way to learn is to actually be part of it, because then you kind of sit there and go, that really sucks. Yeah, I know why you tapped out. You know, that's really painful, etc. I think it makes a big difference. I'm with you on that one. I got involved because, like you, I was watching it, and then all of a sudden, the boys were like, oh, I wouldn't do that. And I was that idiot who went, I'll do that. And the lads went, yeah, bet you won't. I went, fine, I will. The next day, found out where a gym was, trained there, and fought 5 months later, I think, after it. Yeah, about 4 or 5 months after it. And it was just the way it was. It's like, I just wanted to prove, I was more proving a point than anything. And then I got into it, kind of went, actually, I quite enjoy this. I might stick around here eventually.
Exactly.
And that's what happens, and it's
I think the guys that do that as well, they seem to stick around a bit more. I think if you start training with the idea of I'm going to fight, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, those guys never seem to sort of pick it up. It's the guys that want to just find out about the sport, want to just try it, and then it all happens sort of organically from there.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you never force it. And I remember, because I used to work security on the doors in clubs, and I remember one lad talking to me for literally, he was chewing my ear off, yapping for like an hour, saying he wants to train, saying he wants to, I want to train, I want to fight in the UFC and all that. And I just like said, whoa. I said, you want to start at the bottom. It's good to have the dream, but let's talk about the bottom. I said, you want to have an amateur fight first. Then, in fact, let's go back from that. Let's go back to training. You want to go in and get your ass kicked in training and realise how much of a bitch you are, because we are all bitches when we get in there. I walked in, right, when I walked in, I'd tell you now, I was about, how many kilos was I, pounds? Probably about, if I'm at 200, probably 225 maybe, no, 230, 225 pounds, 230 pounds was. I walked in, I was a big lifter, big strong boy. I thought, right, I'm just going to chew these guys up, whatever, what we'll do is thing called grappling, yeah, whatever. I had this young lad who was he 16, 17 at the time, and he was probably about 145 pounds on him, like skinny little whipper on him, right, even probably less than that, probably maybe between 135 and 140 pounds. He beat the shit out of me. Like, he was strong as an ox. Now, don't get me wrong, that kid is freakishly strong for his size. Like, I don't know any other kid I've ever met in my life his size that was that strong, but he literally mauled me. I had a good 10 seconds of bench pressing him off me, and after that, I was gone. I couldn't do anything. He just tied me up, and I could not get my head around it. I kind of was just in shock. I was like, hang on a minute, that's not going to happen. And then I kind of went, so when I'm outside, and I'm thinking how big I am, that little guy could beat the crap out of me any second, at will. He could have kicked out. And that kind of went to me, I went, oh, this is just not even... So whenever I'm out now, whenever I see anyone, I think, my little friend could kill you. And that's just what the sport is.
With that, when you do get in that scenario, you're either going to do one or two things. Because it's the same with myself when I started training. Like, it was quite eye-opening to see like how easily someone could sort of manhandle you, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
I think most people, you do one or two things. You either bury your head in the sand, or you just, you persevere with it.
We've had a lot.
Nice, but you have to do it, really.
Oh yeah, I could even count how many guys have rocked up to the gym since I started training. Went in there and ended up, after the first sparring session, you didn't see their face again.
Yeah, I think
it just
up
couldn't.
And down the gym, I think that's a common occurrence.
Yeah, and you just think those guys have got an ego that's so big they can't accept it. They can't accept it. Do you know what? When you go back to your friends who don't know what you've been doing, and you start to brag again about this and the other, they don't know that you bitched out. And it's like, look, just accept it. There's someone out there who can kick your ass. Look, if Brock Lesnar, I know he's juiced up whatever he did, if he wanted to, if he wants to do anything to you, he'll do it to you. It's one of them things. Like, I accept that there's a man out there like that who can do like whatever he wants to me. It's just a matter of, like, for me, I've got more chance of that guy who walked out the gym. I'll just delay it a bit longer. That's all. I'll just delay the inevitable. Him, it's just going to happen straight away. You know. Yeah, it's the fight game's different, man. That's what it is. You know, we've organically got drawn into it, you and I, and that's what's getting us. That's what's keeping us there. It's that organic kind of beautiful relationship with the sport.
Yeah.
And it does. Exactly. I think that does keep us connected. I think that does keep us wanting to keep in it and keep growing, because it's just something that's naturally fascinating about it. I'm not forcing. I'm not sitting like you say. A lot of people, not guys even, just generalised blokes will come in thinking glitz, glamour, money, bang, that's it. And I'm like, it ain't nothing like that. It's men on men sweat and pain and disappointment, and that's pretty much 99% of the time is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot of people see sort of the fight night and stuff like that. I think they'd fancy a bit of it, but they don't see the weeks prior where you're grafting, you're working hard, you're basically getting your ass kicked every day.
Yeah.
They don't see that. They just see the part at the end where you get your hand raised and everyone's cheering. But that's not always what it's like.
No, it's not at all, mate. It's the sport is so much more to, and that's why I think that anyone who's, even if they cover the sport or if they're interested in sport, I think just try and get into the sport. If you're physically able to, try and do a bit of it. Not compete, but maybe just try it. Like jiu-jitsu is a great one. Not even
competing, or even just training an element of it. Just jiu-jitsu, or taking up a kickboxing class for a beginner's MMA class, something like that.
Exactly. Nothing too crazy, nothing too heavy. Just, do you know what? They'll get a better understanding, better appreciation. And it's just a way to educate people, like you say. It does educate you, like you said, you did the jits, and it makes a huge difference, because like when you're on the ground, you sit there and go, that's why he's not getting out, because he's not got his underhook. Yeah, exactly. If he got the underhook, he'd be out. Exactly.
Yeah, little things like that before I wouldn't know what was happening.
Yeah.
You know.
And you must feel as well now, because the people you're training around, that your knowledge, you feel like you probably haven't dipped your toe in the water, so to speak.
Yeah. I mean, I train with some really good guys as well, so it's definitely in the deep end all the time.
and the amount of information you can sponge off, and it must be for yourself. It's priceless. You know, that's what's happening now. This, like yourself and the kind of generation that's coming up, they're getting the spoils of the older fighters that have went in, made all the mistakes, made all the fuck ups, learned all the stuff that they should have done. And they're just passing that information on. So this upcoming generation gets so much of a benefit from everyone stepping in and basically fucking up, let's say it that way, and just getting all good out of it.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, this is probably the first sort of crop we're starting to see now of ex-fighters or current fighters that are starting to coach and that are sort of coming through now, which is quite cool. It's the first sort of era we're starting to see with that now, which is quite cool. I mean, if you look at like American Top Team and places like that, their coaches, like you've got Mike Brown and people like that who have been there, done that, won the belts, and then are passing it on.
Exactly, they've got like a handful of guys, and the thing is with the amateurs
as well.
Dean Thomas, awesome dude, and they've got the amateur guys that they're teaching the amateur guys, like the pros, and the standard of the amateurs, like we said at the start, was going up. It's all showing that it's all going the right direction as well. That's the good thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and I think like with the IMAF as well, it just makes it, like you said earlier, it just gives people a bit more of a target towards.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of like the gold standard now. I've heard a few times from people that they want to do well there and then think about maybe going pro. You know.
It is. It's one of them ones where you can find out where you are on that world scene, because especially
exactly.
The guy called Josie Torres, buddy of the show and stuff like that. He won that twice. He won it twice, and then he got signed. His pro debut was on Titan FC, which was shown on Fight Pass, and that just shows that the effect that has it alone. That promotion itself has that. And if
you look at look at a lot, even like the British guys, a lot of them who have done well, or I say British and Irish as well.
Yeah.
That have done well. I mean, look, Gallagher last night and Jack Shaw and people like that. They all did well, sort of competing in the IMAF competitions and have gone on and signed for good promotion straight away.
And that's the great thing about this, the kind of what they're doing, the structure they've put in place, and that for yourselves as an amateur, you get that goal set, that mindset. It's not the pro, it's the mindset. Now the mindset is, if I can do really well here, I can see where I am. Because if, for example, you go over there and you do, firstly getting into it is a great start, and then going into it and competing, meeting all these people, making these contacts. It's awesome. I think it's fantastic what they're doing, and plus you get to see Carly Baker in a bikini. It's not a bad thing.
You're not wrong.
Just sticking that one out there, folks. Google it. I'll follow her on Snapchat like I might do. And Jenny, and Jenny, the Brazilian octagon girl. You want to follow her one? Follow her Snapchat.
I've got her Jenny. What the Jenny?
Yes.
Andreas.
Yes.
That one.
Yes. Follow her.
I've got her on Instagram.
Get her on Snapchat.
Oh, okay. I'll give her a look later.
Yeah, get on that, lad. And
make sure my missus ain't looking.
She speaks Portuguese, so she's helping my Portuguese. What it is.
Oh, right.
Yeah, Fifio, Scorchio. That's my Portuguese so far. Look, Adam, I'll let you shoot off, buddy. But before I let you go,
okay, cool.
But I need to know what your social media is for people at home to jump onto, give you a follow, and kind of join you on your kind of the MMA journey.
Yeah, cool. So my Instagram and my Twitter is both at 26 Spalding. So that's Spalding. So that's for both of them. That's Twitter and Instagram.
And what about sponsors who are helping you out in fight camps and stuff?
Yeah, so this time I've been supported by Break Apparel and OC Industries, and also I'm being helped out by Betts and Cranfield, Building Contractors, and Whip Street Motors as well. Fantastic
stuff, buddy. And last but not least, then, give a shout out for your gym, training partners, people like that you want to give thanks to for helping you out.
Yeah, just obviously the main guys at Dynamo Fight Sports, Mark Nixon, Glenn Ward, Kevin Lane, Steve Hovenden. Those have been the main guys down there. And obviously all the guys at BKK Fighters, Jack Mason, Sean Carter, Jason Coolidge, all the guys there as well.
Fantastic, dude. Honestly, have an awesome fight, man. Adam, have a great fight against Andreas. It's going to be live as well, folks. It's being streamed, so if not, we'll get someone in the crowd to periscope it anyway. So that's the great thing about stuff like that. So tune in, people. Have a great fight. Have a great weekend. Have a great time. It's an awesome run show, so you're going to have an awesome time anyway. But honestly, mate, have a great time, dude.
Cheers, man. Top man.